Hello students, welcome to my channel. Now in this video we are going to start a new chapter, Polynomial, chapter number 2 of Mathematics class 9, right? Now after hearing word polynomial, some of you might think that it looks very complicated, but trust me, it is a very easy chapter. If you understand all the concepts and all basic terminology of polynomial, this chapter will be very easy for you. Now, what is polynomial? Polynomial is nothing but a type of algebraic expressions, a neat type of algebraic expressions, right? Now, what is algebraic expressions? You have already studied in standard 8, right? So, let us recall some algebraic expressions. I have written some algebraic expressions here. As you can see, right, algebraic expressions is nothing but a collection of terms, right, mathematical terms. Now, you all know what is variable. Here you can see x square, y, these are variables, right? X, here I have x, these are the variables. So to express variable, you can use any letter, right? A, B, C, D, that what you want, you can use it. Now, what is constant? Here 3, 1, this is constant, right? Variable means it can change values, right? If I want to find a area or a perimeter of any square, let's say it is of a side A, so perimeter of square will be 4A. Now if I put a value of A as, let's say this square is of side 10, so I have to just put a 10 in place of A, my answer will be 40, right? If the side length of side will be 5, I have to just put value of A as 5, so here A is a variable. I cannot change value of 4 because every time I have to multiply the side with 4, right? So 4 is constant and A is variable. So it should be clear that variable can change or take any values, but constant will be as same as it is, right? Now, what is polynomial? Let's say there is a big party where any algebraic expression can come. Now in this party there is a VIP box. There is a VIP box. And in this chapter, this VIP box is polynomial. Right? So to enter a VIP box, there must be a ticket, or any specific rule or any specific card to enter this VIP box, right? So what is the rule to enter a polynomials, right? To be a polynomial for algebraic expressions, what is the rule? So the rule is simple. The power of variable must be whole number. What I have written is the power of variables must be whole number. So to be a polynomial for any algebraic expressions, the power of all the variables of that algebraic expression must be on whole numbers. Now, what type of number comes under whole number? We all know that whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So, if the power is negative, it should not be a polynomial. If the power is any decimal number, it cannot be a polynomial. If the power is negative number, it cannot be a polynomial, right? So power must be a whole number to be a polynomial. Now let us see this. We will see how many of these are polynomials, right? So for the first one, here I have 4x square plus 2y plus 3. What I have said is, to be a polynomial, the only rule is you have to check the power of variables. Now here we have variable as x, y, right? So for this, power of x is 2. For this, power of y is 1, right? I can write y power 1 or y, these both are equal. So power of x is 2, power of y is 1. Here I don't have any variables, so I don't have to worry. Now for this power, now we have to check 2 and 1. Is 2 and 1 a whole number? We all know that 2 and 1 are whole numbers. So all the power of variables in these algebraic expressions are whole number. So it can be a polynomial, right? So this is our first polynomial. I can write it in the VIP box. 4x square plus 2y plus 3. Right? Here I have two variables. Now for the second one, let us check whether it is a polynomial or not. What I have to check? I just have to check the power of variables. Here I have power of variable is 2. Here I have power 1. Right? Here I don't have any variables. But if I want to write a variable here, I can write x power 0, right? Because anything, if I put a power as 0, my answer will be 1. So 1 multiplied by 1, answer will be same. So I can write x power 0, right? There is nothing to worry. So I got a power as 2, 1 and 0. Are those three whole numbers? Yes. So yes, it is a polynomial. I can write it in VIP box. 3x square minus 2x plus 1. Right? Very easy. You just have to check the power of variables. If it is whole number, it is polynomial. Now here minus 2x cube. Here I have only one term, right? So power of variable is 3 for this. Now is 3 a whole number? Yes. So I can write minus 2x cube as a polynomial, right? Here I have only 10. You can see there is no variable here. But if I want to write any variable, I can write x power 0, right? You can take any letters instead of x. Let's say I will write u power 0, or anyone will write y power 0. There is nothing wrong in it, right? So y power 0, my power is 0. Is 0 whole number? Yes. So 10 also is a polynomial. I can write it as a polynomial, right? Now here I have x power 1 by 2. We all know that square root of x equal to x power 1 by 2. I can write it, right? We have already studied in chapter number 1. So x power 1 by 2, and here I have x power 2. So 1 by 2 and 2. Is 1 by 2 a whole number? No. So it is not an polynomial, right? All the power of variables should be whole numbers. Now here I have 1 upon x power 2. You all know that 1 upon x power 2 can be written as x power minus 2, right? So here I have power minus 2, here I have power 1, and for the third one power is 0. So does minus 2 comes under whole number? We all know that it does not comes under whole number. So this is not an polynomial. The last one, 3x cube plus 2. Here I have power is 3 and 0. 3 and 0 both are whole numbers. So yes, it is a polynomial. I can write it 3x cube plus 2. So these are examples of polynomials, right? So our first topic is the question that are asked you are like, find whether this algebraic expression is polynomial or not. You just have to check the power of variables. If the power of variables are whole number, then it is polynomial. So I think you all have understand what is polynomials, right? The word poly means many. And nomial means term. So polynomial means many terms, right? So it is easy to identify whether the algebraic expression is polynomial or not. Now we will move to the second terminology. Before that, there will be 4 type of questions for the polynomials in your exercise 2.1. First one is the first concept you should learn is terms, then coefficient, then degree, and name of the polynomial, right? So we will move to the terms. Now in any algebraic expressions, you all know that algebraic expression is collection of terms. So in any algebraic expressions, there are terms. So same in any polynomials, there are terms. Now what is terms and how to identify the terms? Terms are different part of that polynomial, right? So if I want to say in this polynomial 4x square plus 2y plus 3, I have 3 terms, right? First one is 4x square, second one is 2y, and third one is 3. These three are the terms of this polynomial. Terms means the parts of the polynomial, right, which is separated by plus or minus sign. For this, if I have to write terms for this polynomial, my answer will be 3x square. This is first term. Don't forget to bring a sign with you when you are writing term. My second term will be minus 2x, right? My third term will be plus 1. So very easy to identify term. Just write all the parts of that polynomial. For this one, I have only one term, and that is minus 2x cube. For this one, I have only one term, that is 10. For this one, I have two terms. One is 3x cube, and second is 2 or plus 2, right? So if anyone asks you what is term, terms is just a part of that polynomial, right? It is separated by a plus or minus sign. Let me ask you in question 3.2 x square minus 3 x plus square root of 10. First of all, tell me whether this is a polynomial or not. I have to check the power of variable, nothing else, just power of variables. Here I have power of variable x as 2, here I have 1, and here I have 0, 2 and then 0. These three are a whole number, as we all know, so yes, it is polynomial. Don't have to look at this, right? Here you can write any real numbers. Here also you can write any real number, or here also, right? So now it comes to terms. As we all know, this is polynomials. Now what are the terms of this polynomial? Write down the terms. So I just have to write all three parts. 3.2x square. Don't forget to bring the sign with you, positive or negative. Minus 3x is second term, and square root of 10, this is third term, right? So it is very easy to find terms. So you all know what is polynomial. Now you all know what is terms. In the terms, there is a special type of term, and we call it a constant term. You all know what is constant. Constant means the value of that will not change, right? Let us look at this. Here I have only 10. So 10 is constant. I cannot change the value of 10 for any cases, right? So it is a constant term. In this polynomial 3x cube plus 2, I have a term that is 2. I cannot change the value of 2 by doing anything. So this is constant term, right? Here 3x cube, I can put desired value of x to get my answer. So I can change the value of this term. Is if I put 1 in place of x, my answer will be 3. 2 in place of x, my answer will be 24, right? So constant term is a term which cannot change the value. Here in this polynomial, I have constant term as plus 1. In this polynomial, I have constant term as plus 3, right? So anything can be as constant term that cannot change the value. So in this polynomial, what is constant term? The constant term, that is term with no variables. Here I have 10. So yes, it is constant term. So I think you will understand what is terms and what is constant term. So let me write it here. Now we will move on to the third terminology, and that is coefficients. Now for the coefficients, what are the coefficients? In all the terms, let me write it for this one. Let's say 4x square, second one is 2y, third one is 3. x square minus 2x and 1. These are the terms of these two polynomials, right? Now, for every term, there is a coefficient for a variables in all the term, right? What I am saying is, in every term, there will be a coefficient for each variables. Now, what is variables for this term? Here I have variable as x square, right? Here I have variable as y. Here I have variable as x square. Here I have variable as x. Now coefficient is just a number that is multiplied with that variables. If you identify what number is multiplied with this variable x square, my answer will be 4. So coefficient of x square in this polynomial is 4. Coefficient of y in this polynomial is just 2. Coefficient of x square in this polynomial is 3. The number that is multiplied with this variable is a coefficient. Coefficient of x in this variable is in this polynomial is -2. Don't forget to bring the sign with it, right? For x there is a -2 that is multiplied with it. So coefficient is a simple thing, that the number that is multiplied or that is written with that variable. Now if in this polynomial I have to find the coefficient of x square, answer is find the coefficient of x square in this polynomial. First I have to identify, I have to check where is x square. Now here is x square. What is multiplied with or written with x square? There is any, you cannot see anything here, but there is an invisible 1, right? You can write 1 here. So coefficient of x square is 1. What is coefficient of x power 3 in this polynomial? Here I have -1, right? So coefficient of x cube will be -1. Now for the constant term, here I have constant term as 10. So the question will be, what is the coefficient of x power 0 in this polynomial? Coefficient of x power 0, that means they are asking you a constant term. So my answer will be 10. So coefficient is nothing but a number that is written with or that is multiplied with the variable that is asked in the variable that is asked in you in the question, right? So let me ask you a question by giving a polynomial. Question will be asked in this form. You have given a polynomial that is 4x cube minus 3x square plus 2. You have to write down coefficients of x cube, x square, x power 0 and x power 1 in that polynomial, right? So if I want to write a coefficient of x cube, let us see where is x cube. Here is our x cube. Now what is the number that is multiplied or written with x cube? Here is a 4. So simple answer, coefficient of x cube will be 4. Now what will be the coefficient of x square? So I have to identify where is x square. Here is x square. What number is multiplied with x square? Don't forget to take a sign with you. Here my answer will be -3. Simple, right? What is multiplied with x square? -3, right? Now what is coefficient is of x power 0. Now what is x power 0? X power 0, that is 1. So this is asking me a constant term. Here I have x power 0, right? So coefficient of x power 0 will be +2. In any polynomial, coefficient of x power 0 is always a constant term, right? Now what is coefficient of x power 1? Check where is x power 1 in this polynomial. We don't have x power 1. That means I can write a 0 multiply x power 1, right? Right or wrong? There is no term with variable x power 1. So I can write as a 0 x power 1. Does it affect a polynomial? No, because 0 multiply something will be 0. So it does not affect anything. So coefficient of x power 1 in this polynomial will be 0. Very easy. X power 1 will be 0, right? So if you understand this example, it will be very easy for any polynomial to find a coefficient, right? Coefficient is nothing but just a number that is multiplied with the variables. So we all know what is coefficient. We have studied how to identify polynomial, what is terms, what is constant term. Now we have learned what is coefficient. Now we will go to the degree of polynomial. By the way, the polynomial is a topic that comes under algebra, right? And algebra comes from a book called Algebra that is written by some mathematician named Al-Khwarizmi, right? Persian mathematician, I think, Al-Khwarizmi. Now we will move on to the degree. What is degree of polynomial? So we all know what is the variable, what is term, what is coefficient. Now it's time for degree. These are the polynomials, right? I have written 4 polynomials here. Now, what is degree? Degree is a highest power of variable in the polynomial. What I am saying is degree is a highest power of variable in that polynomial. Let me write it here. Right? What is degree? Degree is the highest power of variable in the polynomials. So in this polynomial, if I want to find the degree, sorry, I have to write x here. Right? Now, for this polynomial, what are the powers of variables? Here I have power of variable as 2. Here I have 1 and here I have 0, right? X power 0. So 2, 1 and 0 are powers of the variables. Now what is the highest power in this? My answer is 2. So degree of this polynomial is 2. Let us check in this polynomial. Here I have only one term and power of variable is 3. So simple, my degree will be 3 for this polynomial. Here I have only one term. Here I can't see any variable, but I can write x power 0 here. So my power for the variable will be 0. So I can write 0 as a degree of this polynomial. Now for the fourth one, what I have to check is power of variables. Power of variable, the highest power of variable will be degree for this polynomial. Here I have power as 100. Here I have power as 1. So my answer for the degree of this polynomial will be 100. Very simple, right? If you ask find the power of this polynomial, or sorry, find the degree of this polynomial, what will be the answer? You have to see at the power of the variable. Here power is, we have power as a 3 and here 0. So 3 will be my answer for the degree of polynomial. For this, my answer will be 2, right? So degree is nothing but just an highest power of variable in the polynomial. So we have learned what is degree. The question will be like x power 5 minus x power 4 plus 10. Find the degree of this polynomial. You just have to check what is the highest power of the variable. Here I have 5 and 4 and 0 as a power. 5, 4 and 0 as a power. X power 0, right? So my answer will be 5 for the degree, right? Highest power will be my answer. So we have learned what is degree. Now it comes to name. See, here I have 4x square plus 2y plus 3, x and y, two variables, right? But for the exercise 2.1, we will only focus on polynomials with one variable, right? So polynomial with one variable means all the variables in a polynomial will be same. No two variables or three variables, only polynomial with one variables. Yes, this is polynomial, there is no wrong by saying that this is a polynomial, but in this chapter we are going to study only polynomials with one variable, right? So we have studied the terms, coefficient and degree. Now it comes to name. How to name a polynomial? There is a two different way to name a polynomial. One is by terms, one is by degree, right? There is two way to name a polynomial. One is by terms and one is by degree. By number of terms. If in any polynomial we have number of term is 1, right? Only one term. We will name this type of polynomial as monomial. What? Monomials, right? Now it comes to second. What if I have two terms? Before that, let us write an examples of monomials. Mono means one, right? The poly means many, same way mono means one. Now for the example of monomial, look at this and find which polynomial has only one term. This and this both polynomial has only one term, right? So minus 2x cube and 10, these two are monomials. Now it comes to two terms. What we will see, name the polynomials with two terms. We will name it binomial. 2 means bio, so binomial. Now identify the example of binomial from this polynomial with only two terms. Here I have 3x cube plus 2, 3x cube plus 2. This is binomial, right? Now we will move to the three terms. Polynomial with three terms. Now 3 means trinomial, so I can say it trinomial. Now give me the example of trinomials. From this I can say 3x square minus 2x plus 1. This one is also an example of trinomial, but I am not writing it here because in this chapter we are going to study only polynomials with one variable, right? So the question will be, you have given polynomials and you have to identify which type of polynomial is this by number of terms. So first one is, it has three terms, so I can say trinomial. Second one also three terms, I can say trinomial. Here it has only one term, so monomial. Mono means one. Here it has only one term, so monomial. And here it has two terms, so it is binomial, right? Monomial, binomial, trinomial. Now polynomials with more than three terms, we can simply say it polynomials, right? Nothing to worry. Now by the degree. Here we have learned how to name a polynomial by number of terms. Now we will see how to name it by degrees. If the degree of polynomial is 0, right? If the degree of polynomial is 0, then it is a constant term, right? I can say it a constant term. Now if the degree of polynomial is 1, for the constant term, my answer will be, example will be, I can write 10 as a constant term, right? Because the degree of this polynomial is 0. I have to add some examples here. Let's say 2x plus 1 minus 3 minus 3x plus 2. So now we will see, what if the degree of polynomial is 1, right? We can call it linear polynomial, or just a linear equation. I cannot say it equation, but linear algebraic expressions. Polynomial with degree 1 can be said as linear polynomial or linear algebraic expressions. Now give me the example for the linear algebraic expressions. Identify which of the polynomial has a degree 1. It has a degree 2. 2 is highest power. For this, highest power of variable is 2. For this, it is 3. For this, it is 0. No, I want 1. For this, it is 3. Now for this, what is highest power of variable? I have here 1 and here 0. The highest power will be 1. So yes, this is a linear equation or linear algebraic expressions, right? 2x plus 1, linear. For the second example, I can say it minus 3x plus 2, right? Minus 3x plus 2 is also in linear because it has a degree 1. Why we will say this is a linear? Because when you draw the graph of this equation, your graph will be a single line, straight line. So we can call it a linear, right? Now, what if the degree of polynomial is 2? I can say it quadratic algebraic expression or a quadratic polynomial, right? Now give me the example for the quadratic. From here, give me the polynomials that have degree 2. First one has a degree 2, second one has a degree 2. So let me write it 3x square minus 2x plus 1. Any other examples with degree 2? No. So a polynomial with degree 2 can be named a quadratic algebraic expression or quadratic polynomial. Now we will move on to the third. What if the degree of polynomial is 3? So degree of polynomial is 3 can be said as cubic. What? Cubic. Cubic polynomial or cubic algebraic expressions, right? Give me example of cubic from this. Here I have minus 2x cube. Because the degree of this polynomial is 3, then 3x cube plus 2 is also a cubic polynomial. Cubic means if the power is 3. Same way, what if the degree of polynomial is 4? I can say it by quadratic algebraic expansion or by quadratic polynomial, right? So there is a two way to naming the polynomial. One is by the terms. How many terms does polynomial have? We can name it by this: monomial, binomial, trinomial. Mono means one term, binomial means two term, trinomial means three terms. Very easy. Now, what is name of polynomial? By its degree. If the degree of polynomial is 0, that means there is a constant term, right? The polynomial is itself a constant term. Here I have example as 10. Now, what if the degree of polynomial is 1? We can name it linear polynomial or linear algebraic expression by, because the graph of this type of equation will be a line, straight line. So if the degree of polynomial is 1, we can say it linear. What if the degree of polynomial is 2? We can say it quadratic. If 3, we can say it cubic, right? So it is very simple. So if you know all the four terms, how to identify polynomials, what is term, what is constant term, now what is coefficient, what is degree, and how to name it, then your exercise 2.1 will be very easy. So we will do a first example and then we will move on to the exercise. So this is our example number 1. Now what is question? I have to find the degree of all these three polynomials, right? This will be your 1 mark question, right? So you don't need to give an explanation for this. Now we all know that what is degree? Degree is the maximum power of n variables. So for the first one, what are the variables here? I have x as a variable. So maximum power of x is, so all the power of x are 4, 5, and here I have 0, right? So maximum power is 5. So degree of this polynomial will be 5. Now second one, for this, here I have 2 minus y square minus y cube plus 2y power 8. What will be the degree of this? Maximum power of variable y. Here I have y as a variable, right? So we don't have to worry anything. Maximum power of y is, simply I can say 8. So let me write 8 here as a degree. Now for the third one, what is maximum power of variable in this polynomial? Here I cannot see any variable. So I can write x power 0 here. So my degree will be 0. So it is very easy, right? Now we will move on to the exercise 2.1. So here is our first question of exercise number 2.1. In this question, I have to identify which are the polynomials in one variable. Focus here, one variable, right? Polynomials in one variable. I have to give the reason if it is not a polynomial in one variable. The simple rule for identify whether it is a polynomial or not, it's just we have to look at the powers of decimals, powers of variables. If the powers of variable are whole number, then it is a polynomial. So for the first one, I have 4x square minus 3x plus 7, right? Here I have power of variable is x power 2, I have x power 1, and here I have 0. So the powers are powers of variable x are 0, 1, and 2, right? So yes, it is polynomial with one variable. One variable means there should be only one type of variable in all the polynomial. Here I have x only for the polynomial, right? So it is polynomial with one variable. Very easy. Now check it for second one. Here I have y square plus root 2. Check whether it is only one variable or not. Yes, here we have only one variable as y. Now what is it a polynomial or not? So I have to look at the power. Here I have power as 2. So I have to write the same. Power of variable y for this polynomial is 2. So yes, 2 comes 2 and 0. Yes, so yes, 2 and 0 comes under whole number. So yes, it is polynomial with one variable. Now we will look at the third. 3 root t plus t root 2. You have to look just at the powers of the variables. Now here we have t as a variable, right? So the power of t is, for this, we all know that root t can be written as t raised to 1 by 2, t power 1 by 2. So for this power is 1 by 2. For this power is, you can write t root 2 or root 2t, right? These both are same. So here power of variable t is 1, right? So here I have two powers. For one is, that is 1 by 2, and 1 by 2 does not comes under whole number, or I can write 1 by 2 is not an whole number. 1 by 2 is not a whole number. So my answer will be no, it is not a polynomial in one variable, right? It is not a polynomial in one variable. Now for the fourth, y plus 2 by y. Here I have power of y is 1. You have to see whether both the variables are same or not, right? Because the question is polynomial in one variable, so there should be only one variable in all the polynomial. So y power 1, now 2 by y. I know that 1 upon y can be written as y power minus 1. So here I can write y plus 2 by y is y plus 2y power minus 1, right? These both are same. So here I have power of y is minus 1, and minus 1 is not a whole number. So this is also not an polynomial with one variable, right? Now for the fifth one, here I have x power 10, y power 3, t power 50. Is it a polynomial in one variable? Let us see. Here power of variables, I have variable as ax, y and t. So first of all, this is not a algebraic expression in one variable, right? It has a three variable, ax, y and t. So my answer will be no, it is not a polynomial in one variable because it has three variables. So simple answer will be x, y and t. Here x, y and t, three variables. In this polynomial. So my answer will be no, it is not a polynomial with one variable because it has three variables x, y and t. You can write in a language you want, but concept or answer should not be changed, right? A main idea should not change. Now let us check, is it a polynomial or not? Here I can say x power 10, y power 3 and t power 50. All the powers are whole numbers. See, 10, 3 and 50. These all are the whole numbers. So yes, it is a polynomial, but not in one variable. It is polynomial in three variables. So it is our first question. Question is very easy, right? Now we will move on to the second question. Now here is our second question. It's a very easy question. I have to just find coefficient of x square in these polynomials, right? Now we all know that find a coefficient is very easy. For the first one, what is the coefficient of x square in this polynomial? I have to look at the x square. Now what is multiplied or written with x square is just 1. There is invisible 1, right? So my answer will be plus 1. Now for the second one, what is coefficient of x square in this polynomial? Look at the x square. Here I have x square. What is multiplied with x square is minus 1, right? Don't forget to take a sign with you. This mistake is done by very students, very much to so many students, right? So don't forget to take a sign with the answer, right? Now for this, what is the coefficient of x square? Now here I have x square, the multiplied number with x square is pi by 2, so my answer will be pi by 2. If there is a horse multiplied by x square, your coefficient will be horse. Sorry, I am just joking. Coefficient will be only real numbers for you, right? Now for x, for the fourth one, what is the coefficient? What is the coefficient of x square in this polynomial? So first of all, I can't see any x square in this polynomial. So I can write plus 0 multiplied by x square, right? It does not affect my polynomial. So the coefficient of x square in this polynomial is 0. So if you have asked the coefficient of x square and in your polynomial there is no x square, right? So you can say the coefficient of x square is 0 in that type of polynomial. So this to finding coefficient, it is very easy. Now we will move on to the third question. Now here we have our third question. I have to write example of a binomial with degree 35 and monomial with degree 100. If you have learned concept, then you can give the answer very easy, right? By saying binomial, that means this polynomial should contain only two terms. Now it has degree 35, that means the maximum power of the variable that comes in this polynomial is 35, right? There should be no higher power than 35 for the variables. So if I write, let's say x power 35, so in another term I cannot write x power 36 or 37, right? Maximum power should be 35 only. Now in second term you can write anything. Let me write it 10. You cannot write 0 here, right? Because if you write 0 in the second term, the polynomial will become a monomial, right? Because in binomial there should be two terms. You can write any answer, any example that you want. Just one thing to remember, that it should have, or it must have two terms, and the maximum power of the variable is 35, right? The degree means maximum power of variable, it is 35. Binomial means it has two terms. Now for the second one, monomial with degree 100, that means in this polynomial there is only one term, and for this term maximum power of variable should be 100. So in this term I have only one term, so power of variable must be 100, right? So I can write x power 100. This is my answer. Someone will write minus 3 x power 100, or anyone can write root 2 t power 100. These all are the monomials with degree 100, right? Here someone can write y power 35 minus y power 34. This will also be a polynomial with degree 35 and binomial, right, with two terms. So the question number 3, very easy. You just have to use the concepts of degree and terms. Now we will move on to the fourth question. Now here is our question number 4 for exercise number 2.1. I have to write the degree for all these polynomials. Very easy, right? To find the degree means highest power of variables. Now here I have power as 3 for x, here I have power as 2, and here I have power as 1, right? This is a plus sign, don't be confused, right? So maximum power for this polynomial is 3, so my degree will be 3. Now for this polynomial 4 minus y square, here I have variable is y, and maximum power of y is 2, right? Here I don't have any y, so I can say power of y for this term is 0, and for this is 2, so my answer will be 2. Very easy, right? For this term power of t is 1. Here I don't have any variable, that means power of t is 0 in this term, so maximum power will be 1. So it is a polynomial with degree 1. I can say it linear polynomial, I can say this quadratic, I can say this cubic, right? For the fourth one, I don't have any variable, that means I have only constant term. For the constant term, power of variable is 0, so degree will be 0, right? So this is our fourth question. Now let us see, what if is 0 a polynomial? First of all, give me answer. Is 0 a polynomial? Yes. For the polynomial, the only condition is power of variable should be whole number. Here I can write power of variable as any number. Let's say x power 0 or 0x power 10 or any whole number. Yes, it is a polynomial, right? Because answer of this will be 0 and answer of this will also be 0, right? So yes, 0 is polynomial. There is no doubt in it. I can write this as a 0 polynomial. What? Special type of polynomial. 0 polynomial means there should only be a 0. Now, What is your degree for this? You see, if you see, I can write it as a 0x power 0 or 0x power 100 or 0x power 30. Right? What you want? Answer will be 0 for all of this, right? So if I want to write a degree for this, if I have assumed that it is a x power 0, so my degree will be 0. If I assume that it is 0 multiplied x power 100, my degree will be 100. Here my degree will be 30. So I cannot identify what is the degree, right? So for the 0 polynomial, degree is undefined. Degree is undefined, right? So in a question, if you have asked that what is a degree for 0 polynomial, then your answer will be undefined, right? So it is a 0 polynomial, it has only one term, I can call it monomial, but it is 0, so I can call it 0 polynomial, right? In a monomial, if there is only one constant term, it should be non-zero, right? For the constant term, it should be non-zero. If it is 0, then it is 0 polynomial. Now here I have fifth and last question for exercise number 2.1. I have to write name of polynomial, whether it is a linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial or cubic polynomial, right? So it is very easy. These are the names by degree, right? If the polynomial has degree 1, that means it is a linear polynomial. If degree 2, that means it is a quadratic polynomial. And degree 3, that means it is a cubic polynomial. So we have to identify degree for this and then we can name it. For first one, what is the degree of this polynomial? X square plus x. Your answer will be 2, highest power of variable. Here I have 2, 1, so 2 will be highest power. So my answer will be 2. Now, if the polynomial has degree 2, that means it is quadratic polynomial. Now we will go to the second question. Here I have x minus x cube. So degree of this polynomial will be 3. 3 is the highest degree for variable x. Now if the degree is 3, that means it is cubic. Very easy. Now for the third one, y plus y square plus 4. Degree of the highest degree for the variable in this polynomial is 2. So my degree will be 2 and my answer will be quadratic for 2 degree. Now we will move to the fourth, 1 plus x. Here I have degree as only 1, x power 1, here x power 0. So 1 will be my degree. And if the degree is 1, that means it is a linear polynomial. Now here I have 3t. 3t means there is only degree 1, t power 1, right? So it is also linear polynomial. Here I have r square, r is a variable and 2 is its power. So my degree will be 2. There is no other term, so my degree will be 2. And by degree 2, I mean quadratic polynomial. Here I have 7x cube. So degree of variable is 3, right? So if the degree is 3, that means it is cubic. So this is our exercise number 2.1 that we have learned completely. Now we will move on to the another concepts in second video. So watch this video properly and just you have to remember this all the concepts: how to identify polynomial, what is terms, what is constant term, what is coefficient, what is degree, how to name the polynomial, what is 0 polynomial and what is degree of 0 polynomial, right? In the next lecture we will see the generalized form of polynomial, we will see some identities, right? So thank you for watching this video.